rotation and revolution. First, rotation. This is the movement of the Earth on its axis. You can see the imaginary line drawn from the North Pole to the South Pole. So when the Earth is spinning on its own axis from west to east, it is known as rotation. Now, revolution. This is the movement of the Earth around the sun. So revolution is the movement of the Earth around the sun. So the Earth revolves around the sun. It takes 365 1/4 days to complete a revolution. Okay, so our discussion is on Earth's motion. First, rotation. The Earth rotates on its own axis. This is the spinning motion on its own axis. So when the Earth rotates on its axis, is an imaginary line which draws from the north to the south pole. Okay, so it takes the Earth 24 hours to complete a rotation, that is 1 day, and the Earth rotates from the west to the east. So you can see the image before you. That's the rotation of the Earth. It moves from the west to the east. So the sun rises from the east, okay, to the west. So if you're facing the map, on your right hand side there's the east and the west. And when this rotation is going on, you have day and night. So light is the day, while the part of the Earth that is facing away from the light will give you darkness. Now, this is the Foucault pendulum. This experiment was run in Paris, in Greece then. Now, this experiment is to show how a swinging pendulum proves that the Earth rotates. Okay, seeing an enormous weight suspended on a string swinging back and forth. Can you say it? It's swinging back and forth. So this experiment is to measure the speed of the Earth's rotation. In our former class on the solar system, we discussed the movement of the 8 planets around the sun. So the Earth revolves around the sun. The Earth and other planets, they revolve around the sun. And this revolution takes the Earth 365 1/4 days to complete a revolution. That is 1 full year. Okay, so the Earth revolves around the sun 365 days. Now, seasons of the Earth, we have the winter, the summer, the autumn, and the spring. And every 3 months, that is how these seasons come. But in Nigeria, we have 2 seasons, which is rainy season and dry season. So autumn is the season between summer and winter. It's when the weather becomes cooler and leaves fall off the trees. During the spring is between winter and summer, and then the weather is warmer, but plants start to grow again. Then summer is usually warm and hot, while winter period is always cold. We call it snowfall. Okay, now 2 seasons in Nigeria: wet season and dry season. During the wet season, you see that the grasses are very fresh, while the dry season, the grasses are very dry. So we have sunny skies in Nigeria, cloudy thunderstorms, we have rain and snow. So in Nigeria, both the northern part and southern part, they experience rainbow. It's more in the southern part of the country, is cooler. Okay, so the humid from the Sahara Desert always goes and brings up the rains. So you have more flood in the southern part of Nigeria. So the rains start from April to June in the southern part. Then you have the dry season and even the harmattan. Now, locating places on the lines of latitude and longitude. Locating places on the lines of latitude and longitude. First of all, we see the image, the longitude, the latitude, the equator, and then you have the prime meridians. Okay, so what's the lines of latitude? On a map, lines of latitude are drawn around the Earth to measure the position of the place north or south of the equator. So these are the various special lines of latitude. We have the Arctic Circle, okay, 66 degree north, Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree, that's 23.5 degree north. The equator is at 0 degree. Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south, then the Antarctic Circle. These are the special lines of the latitude. So whenever you're asked to identify what is 3.5 degrees south of the equator, you say is the Antarctic Circle. Of course, you know that the Earth spins on its own axis and is always tilted at 23.5 degrees north, always facing the sun. So it's always at the same position. So when we say lines of longitude on the map, they are drawn from the north to south to meet or to measure the position of the place east or west around the earth. So all the lines of longitude, they meet at the north and south pole. So with these lines, you're able to identify places in the world, okay? With the grid, we can know the exact location of the earth. So what's a grid? We say when lines of latitude are placed over lines of longitude on a map, they form a grid. So this grid helps us to locate the lines of latitude and longitude. So what you're seeing are lines of latitude. Like I told you, they measure the position of the place north or south of the equator. So 1 degree on the map, okay, represents 69 miles on earth. So any degree that you see on the map of the earth represents 69 degrees on earth, 69 miles on earth. So 1 degree equals to 60 minutes. 60 minutes. So 1 minute is just 60 seconds. Okay. Now the line of the equator is at 0 degree, like you have seen it. And we have said earlier that we have Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degrees north, Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south. The equator is at 0 degree. So these areas, they experience 4 seasons. These areas experience, okay, these areas are in the tropics, yes, like Nigeria is in the tropics. So you have rainy season, you have dry season. But now you have Tropic of Capricorn and Tropic of Cancer. So all these areas that are in the south and northern poles of the earth, they experience 4 seasons: autumn, winter, spring, and summer. Now, like I said, longitude, there are the lines that are drawn from the South Pole to measure the position of the place of the earth from east or west. Okay, so all the lines of longitude, they meet at north and south poles when they draw down. Okay, so no natural starting point to measure the 0 degrees, but you have the prime meridian. The prime meridian is the Greenwich mean time in England. Okay, it's also called the prime meridian. It says 0 meridian. It's used to measure the lines of longitude. Unlike latitude, is the equator that is used at 0 degrees. So you can identify places in the air 32 degrees, 42 minutes, and 54 seconds north of the equator. Okay, then you can say 117 degrees south of the longitude. Now you can see the earth still spinning and rotating on its axis. As it's spinning, all this causes seasons on the earth. Now, latitude and temperature. Why is it hot in Nigeria all year round? Do you know? Then how come we don't have winter, summer, autumn, and spring season? The reason is clear, but let me just give it. Nigeria is just a region known as low latitude area. What this means is that the rays of the sun always hits the earth directly on low latitude areas, and these areas are these low latitude areas are about 0 degree at the equator to 30 degrees north and south of the equator. So in these areas, there is not much difference between the winter and the summer months. So why we have different seasons? Why we actually have different seasons is because of the tilting of the earth, the revolution. The North Pole always points towards the same direction, that is the Earth's the northern part. Now, important facts about the Earth: we've said that the Earth revolves around the sun. Okay, it takes it 365 1/4 days to complete a revolution. The North Pole always points at the same direction, and the Earth movement around the sun. Now, thanks for watching this video, and complete your assignment. Be good. Bye bye.